What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Power Sports Steve, and today we're going to check out the 2025 Polaris Ranger XP 1000 Northstar. It's got a new color. It's actually got a couple new colors for 2025. It's got some upgrades with transmission, bumper, audio, power steering, a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so stay tuned. We're going to go over all that with you. We're going to give you a full rundown on everything that's in the 2025 Ranger Northstar XP Ultimate, by the way. I didn't mention it's an Ultimate, but this is the Ultimate package. It's got even more goodies than what the premium model has. We'll talk about that here in a minute. So stay tuned and let's check this guy out real quick, okay? So obviously this is the new blue. This is a matte finish, not a real nice and shiny metallic, but I love the matte finish on this thing. This blue is really sharp. There's a new black for 2025 as well, which is also good looking. I'm kind of hesitant to buy a black one myself just because you beat it up in the woods and the black looks crummy. Probably a little more quickly than the rest, but the black is so sharp. I mean, clean and new, it's pretty hard to beat a black machine. Everybody knows that, right? Black trucks, black cars, they all look good until you have to keep them clean. And then they don't look as good. Kind of a new wheel on here as well, right? It says XP on the hubcap, which is really cool. I did not mention, but check this out. So this has the new kind of XD-like bumper. You could add the LED lights into the bumper. You can also get the top part, kind of the wraparound for the headlights and all. Still got the same winch, 4,500 pound synthetic pro winch. It's got the magnetic stop on here, which is cool. All right, which means you don't wind that joker in too tight. Mention the wheels, but those are 29-inch tall tires, by the way, on the Ultimate Northstar. You can see that, 29s. A regular XP is only going to have 27s, just to let you know. So again, this is the Northstar full HVAC system inside of it. AC, heat, all that kind of fun stuff. I just love the paint on this thing. Super sharp. Of course, Polaris all has the one latch bed. See if I can let this down. I'm kind of recovering from elbow surgery, but we'll see. We can do that a little bit. Full-size bed's got the tow hooks, all right, inside of it. It's got your cup holders in the bed, yada. Everybody knows this, and I can't raise that with my bad hand. All right, so real quick rundown on the payload and all that kind of stuff. Payload on this machine is 1,150 pounds. Maximum cargo box on this particular model is going to be rated at 600 pounds for a crew cab, okay, just to let you know. And your tow capacity is going to be 2,500 pounds, and probably can't see that on there, maybe you can. 2,500 pound tow capacity, 2-inch receiver on the hitch, same as they've had for forever and a day. You can lift the bed with both sides on here. It's a latch on both sides. So we'll lift that up. It's got a gas strut to assist you. Cool thing about Polaris is everything is accessible, all right, when it comes to, you know, air box, air filter, oil fill. We'll go to the other side just so you can see. All right, no big deal. Everything is pretty easily accessible on this machine, okay? When it comes down to maintenance, it doesn't get much easier. That little strut right there, I don't know if you can see that in the picture. Right there, you can pull the pin on it and actually tilt that bed back, which is nice, okay? If you haven't been around a new XP in a while, just to let you know, starting in like 2018, but if you look at the suspension components, the arms and everything, there's no grease fittings in there, okay? I believe the only grease fittings on the newer machines is right here, which is on your rear sway bar, okay? Less maintenance, more durable, bushings, bearings, all that kind of fun stuff, which means less maintenance for you, right? All right, let's see if I can shut this down with the good hand. All right, we are gonna open up the doors, check this guy out. We got some news to share. If you don't know about what's new in the 25s, we're gonna talk about that here in just a minute, okay? Ignore the little interior trim pieces. Those should be tucked up under the door, under the seats. I didn't even open the door until I started the video, but here we are nonetheless. But we'll tuck those in. You can raise the seats on this thing pretty easily. Look at this. Cup holders in the rear. All right. You've even got the nice backing here on the back side. It's not just open and plain. I can't hardly do some of this with one hand. There we go. All right, lifted up the seat. What's really cool that you can do this, it's designed to kind of put the old 5-gallon bucket in there if you want to put a bunch of tools. You're tired of trying to carry tools in your hands, throw them on a bucket, throw it in the back. That ring's designed to do that. If you didn't know, on the Ultimate, by the way, it's got power windows on the front, but you got roll-up windows on the back, okay? And that's what that's showing you right there is the crank handle. It's got the little latch right there on top to open the door as well, okay? We're just gonna leave that as is. And let's go inside. Let's talk about what's new for 2025. We showed you the front bumper, okay? Nice upgrade, I'll have to say. I do like the new front bumper. I like the look. That XD bumper is really, really sharp. What is new on the inside? Check that out. JBL audio system. I think they call it the Trail Pro 2000. And I could be wrong on the name, but I think that's what Polaris is calling it. The audio is definitely improved over last year. I mean, you got to check it out. We're going to turn it on here in a minute. Something that's also new is the transmission. I'm going to go ahead and start this up because it's hot in Alabama, folks. Now, again, we're here at Extreme Power Sports in Opelika, Alabama, just to let you know again. We'll start this up, and I hope it's not too loud with the fan. So we'll turn that down just a smidge. We'll check out the new JBL audio. So what's also new is the transmission. It has a Gen 2 transmission. If you've been around the Rangers for a while, I want to say maybe around the 19, 20, 21 models, I can't remember, but there were some issues with kind of the detent on the transmission. And I forget what the fix is. I don't work in the back. I'm not a service technician and all that, but there is a fix. But some of the shifters became really, really hard to put into gear. I mean, to the point that people were breaking shift levers, okay? I know that sounds maybe a little silly, but legitimately they were snapping shifters off trying to get their machine into gear, okay? If you've seen my video or another video on the XD 1500, you'll see how it's just so smooth. Of course, it doesn't have the low range and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of put it in driver, reverse, neutral, that's it. These Gen 2s obviously still have the high range, the low range, the neutral, reverse, and park. But the difference is that, and I don't know if you can tell, and this is, again, I just had surgery on this hand about a month ago, but, I mean, look at that. To go back and forth. Super, super smooth, okay? Big, big, big improvement on the shifting on a Polaris Ranger. I'm just going to say that. Obviously, we're in reverse, so look at that. Backup camera's kicking on the dash, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. But the transmission is so smooth. Driving it around, I don't know if I'd say there's any difference in the transmission as far as performance or anything like that. So we're not going to say that there is for now, but definitely in this part of it, the shifting is so much better and smoother. The other upgrade that you can't see is that we have or Polaris is calling it kind of the super power steering, if you want to call it that. But the power steering motor apparently is a little stronger. And I will say, just driving it around the lot, that the steering wheel is definitely a little bit easier than what it was, and it was already easy. So I'm surprised they really, focused on improving that. But man, it's so much better. I mean, it's really automotive-like. So again, we are in the Ultimate. Okay, so Ultimate means we got the ride command package, we got the tip-out glass, the audio, all that kind of fun stuff, the big tires, the tip-out glass. Again, we can push out this window. And I'm not going to do that because I don't want to try to pull it in with my bad hand, but it does have the glass window that you can put up. Okay, it's got the little struts right here on the window, as you can see, one on each side. Pretty easy peasy. Comes with the full ride command package, the full audio, GPS, all that kind of stuff. If you haven't been around Polaris, again, and you're not familiar with the ride command package and you have no idea what I'm talking about, do yourself a favor, do a little research on it. I'm not going to get into all of it, but there's some really cool functions with the ride command. There's an app that you can get to that actually help keep track of like your maintenance and all that kind of fun stuff. This is kind of a gauge mode, if you want to call it that. Tells you all your vitals, right? Everybody knows that. From your fuel to temperature to tachometer speed, elevation, voltage, all that kind of stuff. What direction you're heading, full drive indicator. I mean, literally, it's got everything, right? If you want to go to your full navigation, it says you got your GPS on here. And what's cool with the ride command package is you can do all kind of fun things on here. I mean, if you want to put a current ride in, add waypoints, rides, places, group rides, so you can track anybody else that has a ride command package, which is really cool. If you're going in a huge, huge park, you can find each other. You got a main menu you can set up. I mean, for you hunters out there, I mean, you've got access for plugging in and putting in your game camera information, your pictures, pulling that all up, checking it out, and your full audio. And of course, we've got your volume here on the end. Let's see if I can get something that won't really bother too many people music-wise. There we go. All right, let's see how this joker sounds. All right, and I haven't adjusted anything on here. as far as there we go. As far as settings, balance, equalizer, none of that. I have not. You can see this is just all stock. So it's, you know, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. We'll just leave it standard mode and kind of go from there.
Show. It's South 106.1 and 101.7, and in just 2 songs, I will get you your daily dose of randomness. Put that in your brain as you walk into the weekend.
Maybe we'll
try to use it when you head out to lunch here in a little bit. First, Jelly Roll.
See if we can adjust it just a little. It's kind of how I always adjust my stuff.
I'm a rolling stone disciple with a cross across my face. I'm a trailer park.
Alright, I think it's enough audio probably. I don't want to kill you guys too much. And you can, obviously, you can hook up your phone. You got weather, USB, all that kind of stuff, right? Pretty much self-explanatory. I do have the AC going, which is really nice. All your controls for all that down here. Turn your temperature, your fan speed, and everything. On the bottom, you got a 12-volt outlet, right? Self-explanatory. And again, my hand is broken. Can't do much with. Next one's going to be your hookup for your battery tender. And then there is your USB connection as well, okay? Not gonna worry too much about that. Four-wheel drive, the same as Polaris has had for forever today. Turf mode, diff lock on the back, and then your all-wheel drive. If you don't know about all-wheel drive, basically Polaris lets you switch this into all-wheel drive on demand whenever you would like. Recommend not doing it if you're already stuck. Let those wheels all kind of get in sync, and then you can get an all-wheel drive. You've got 3 different modes for your tuning, if you want to call it that. I got a performance, a standard, and a work mode. Just what it sounds like. If you're working, kind of detunes the vehicle a little bit. Standard, and then you got your full-on performance. And if you don't know, this is a 1000cc 82 horsepower machine, which is awesome. And you've got wiper controls right here. We're not going to worry about that. It does have a washer fluid reservoir in there, so you can actually clean the window too. Gauge cluster, they did not change the gauge cluster for 2025. It's pretty much the same that they've had for a minute. And I apologize for the glare if you can't see that. But you can toggle the buttons over here off to the side. You know, whatever you want to put on there. Service indicator, counts backwards, engine hours, voltage output, trip 2, trip 1, odometer, etc. If you hit the mode button, it'll actually change the top. You see your tachometer, temperature, speedometer, etc. You can hold the mode button in, and it will go into an options for your main menu, and you can toggle if you want to change your settings as far as miles per hour, kilometers, Fahrenheit, Celsius, colors on your screen, and how bright it is. Service indicator for your next service, you can change that, and then get out and go back to your main menu. On the far side over here, we've got, of course, your lights off, low beam, high beam, winch, again, in and out for that. You've also, I don't know if you can see, but you got a little lever right here for your tilt steering. And I already mentioned you got power windows on the front, so that's one for the left, the driver's side, and one for the passenger side. You do have all kinds of little storage in the bottom here, which is really nice, little cubbies. The XP, of course, has the main glove box, and you got the manual and everything in there, and then you got a little bit of a box on top. These seats all lift up as well. I can barely do that. My arm is killing me, folks. You do have a little bit of storage under the seat, not much, but again, you got access. And this is completely, I'd call it a walkthrough, but it's not really a walkthrough. It's just open from the front to the back, so you could slide something big in here. If you wanted to put maybe some guns that are already in some nice cases, you could slide those in here. If you didn't want them out in the weather, you could do that. Just thinking what I would maybe use that for myself. And I never mentioned the top, but look at the top. Top's got the nice lining on it, all right? Not soundproof, but sound deadening, I should say. And it's also got a little dome light on here, which is nice. Of course, that's LED, and it's hard to see how bright that is in the daytime, but it is. Let's see if we can maybe drive this around just a little bit around the lot. And again, I don't know if I'm able to do this with one hand hardly. We're going to hold the camera with the bad hand and just kind of see if I can kind of demonstrate the power steering. I mean, you can see I'm just barely moving, and no pressure, no power on my part to get this thing to turn whatsoever. And we'll just kind of drive around the lot a little, at least until my arm starts killing me. Folks, I appreciate y'all watching. If you would, I would really love a like on the video. I would love it if you would subscribe. We've got all kinds of videos still to make. I mean, basically what we're going to do is at least all the key vehicles, your popular vehicles that we sell here at Extreme Power Sports in Opelika. We're going to do videos on. We're going to do some comparisons. Try to tell you what we like, don't like, what's new, all that kind of fun stuff. If you would, really, I'd appreciate it if you give us, again, a like and subscribe to the channel. That would help us out and get more videos up and going. And here's another thing. If you don't like the video and you're here listening to me ramble at the end, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Tell me what you like to hear. Somebody actually the other day mentioned pricing. I try not to get into pricing, mostly because there's always rebates, programs, incentives, things like that that change pricing as far as what we sell vehicles for here at Extreme. With that said, the 25 models did go up about $600 as far as suggested list pricing. This vehicle lists for right at $36,000 the way it sits. It's about $600 more than the 24. Of course, the 24's got some incentives and all that. So if you want to pick up a 24, you could do so. And we do have the 24s left over here at the shop, just to let you know. I think that's it. Again, appreciate y'all watching. Y'all take care. We'll see you next time.